You ready? Ready for Stocks Week? Yes, it is. It is. Hello. Hello. So, thought I'd talk a bit about this for the week. I have multiple topics to talk about, so I hope you're excited for some data and some analytics and talk about a variety of different things. I have a variety of different topics that we're going to cover for this week. Just thought it'd be interesting to talk about because it is something that's relatively new to me. But this is just going to be the intro video to the week and what's to come. So, it's going to be about stocks and such. First question is, does anyone invest in the stock market? Does anyone have a retirement plan with their company that they work for? Does anyone, like a 401k, some sort of retirement, investment retirement account or whatever? All those things are stocks. You put money away from your paycheck, and you always should put money away from your paycheck towards stocks to help you in the long run. That's mostly what it's for. And even though right now, as you can see by the title of this video, the decline with the whole economic system and the stocks in general, this recession that's going on essentially is what it very much seems to be. Mostly because there's a lot of selling. There's a lot of negativity when it comes to a lot of the reports and closing down of various shops and companies that are going to affect their revenue going into the next few months. But very likely by the end of the year, things should definitely start to pick up and be more on a positive note. But for now, and probably for the next 6 months, it's going to be pretty rough, at least in the stock market. So, as a brief history about me, so I had never been interested about this. This sort of stuff never interested me. It's like, I don't care about this, And then, as someone who, here's the thing, I'm really good with my money. I mean, I've managed to, be very wise with my money. Even if I make very, very little, I'm still able to keep, the amount that I have. And not only that, I've even played plenty of, games, even when I was a kid. Even up to now, we're playing games that, if they're money related, how can you turn that money into something much more? So I've been very, very careful and good in that regard. I'm not someone who just spends it just because I have it. No, I don't do that. It's not my thing. And that's not really a wise thing to do. But it's pretty much, I guess it was my grandmother. We've talked about her own retirement plan. And she was putting a decent amount of her paycheck into it. Each paycheck she would put money into it, and then it grew so much. And of course, now it's with the whole thing going on. I'm in the negative. She's going down also. But you got to remember this: when you put that money in there, you got to remember for investments that it's for the long term. So if you're 20 years old or so, you should be putting a decent amount of your paycheck into this to help you when you're 60, 70 years old. Okay? Remember that. So, just kind of seeing that, it's like, oh, it's really interesting, and then I just decided in the middle of last year, in June, to just look into, how I can go about doing this. And then I found some ways of doing it and some companies that I use. I use 3 different companies. I use multiple different websites for a variety of different things. So we will talk about those in a dedicated video. But then I just started putting money away for the future. I put money into that account that I'm not planning on touching, for, let's say 30, 40 years down the line, And that's how you have to look at those long-term investments as. You put money in there, doesn't matter if it's doing good now, but you want to be wise with what you put in, the companies you're investing in. So you want to put money into companies that you see succeeding, in the long term, such as like Apple and Microsoft, for example. You can't imagine them going out of business. They're very, very big companies, so put money into them and they grow over time. But we will talk more specifically about other stuff as well. That's a bit about my introduction to it. And then, from there, I've just been, looking at charts. I've been studying various types of indicators and figuring out, other forms of making money in the stock market, such as not just long-term investments, but, trading stock, like buying when it's low, selling when it's high, even in the same day. So that's kind of what I'm looking at and kind of practicing with. And again, we will talk a bit about that in a dedicated video towards the end of the week. But yeah, just talk briefly about, what's happened just this morning. It's just insane. So we have here, let's take a look. So we have here, let's see, this is on Friday, right here. This is when Friday started. Friday, massive, it went up here. This is the NASDAQ futures. Okay, this is not really a stock, this is the futures. It's a little different. I don't really understand the futures too well. I don't do anything with futures or Forex or anything like that. Or crypto. I don't know really anything about that. I really do not. So, yes, that is pretty much how it started there on Friday. So, massive move up, went down a little bit, move up, kind of zigzagging, and then right here, if you look, flatline. This is where it got halted. It was moving up too fast, so they have to halt the stocks for trading for 15 minutes. This is 15 minutes. Goes down, goes down a bit, and then it goes up. And then at the very end of the day, when Trump was giving a speech about this crazy virus going on, it went up like crazy. And then it kind of drifted off a little bit by the end of the day. And then the futures opened up Sunday night. And then the Federal Reserve lowered their interest rates tremendously. And you can see this massive move down so much that it got halted for the rest of that day until this morning. And if we look at this morning, what happened this morning, market opened at 9:30 right here. It went down to here and was immediately halted. And it went down even further, all the way down to here. So we see a massive move downward. And throughout the day so far, it's been mostly just going up a little bit. But again, look, it goes up to here and then it just goes right back down. So, yeah, it's really not. Overall, if we look at let's just look at like the daily time frame. This is the daily time frame of the stock market, pretty much. This is back in 2018, the end of 2018. Go up, go down a little bit, go up, but there's never been this massive move like this in, many years. So it's crazy. It's crazy how it takes this long to move up here, but it takes this short amount of time to move here. And what I call this is panic selling. This is people who are just absolutely insane, going crazy. Just look at this whole virus thing. I'll call it the crazy virus. You know why? Because it's making people crazy. It's making people absolutely insane. So once all this hysteria is done, once all this craziness is done and people actually come back to their rational, right frame of mind, and they're not, going insane thinking that they're going to die and it's a, global emergency and, everyone's going to die, it's an apocalypse and whatever. Once people come to the conclusion that, wait a minute, that's not what it is at all, and I'm not even prepared for that anyway, that's people are all over the place. Once that actually happens, and it's, it's going to be a little bit, then I can definitely see it going back up. But it's just insane. Isn't this insane? This short amount of move, we're talking right here, just constantly going up. This is February 19th. So we're talking a month. It went down incredibly. What is the price there? So you probably can't read that. It says 9,700. It was almost at 10,000. The NASDAQ futures. Okay? So 9,700 all the way down to about 7,200. Let's just, put that in here. It's a very, very big candlestick here, but isn't that insane? 2,600? 2,500 points? Dollars? whatever you wish to call it. They refer to it, as points and such. But even if we look back here, 2018, 7,600 down to 5,900. I mean, that was about 2,000 right here, this gap, but it didn't happen over a month's time. No, this happened September 28th, December. That was 3 months. But there was an even bigger move here. It's insane. It's absolutely insane. So that's the introduction. So let me know if there's any other topics you would like to cover for this week, sorry. Because I think it's a good time to talk about it, because a lot of people are panicking about this, and it is insane. It really is insane to see this sort of thing. And it goes to show just how panicky people are, how crazy. See, this virus, it's doing more to people's brains and mentality than it is physically to people. It's making them just lose their mind. It's making them lose their mind. And that's why you see all this stuff happening here. So, yeah. So we have multiple topics to cover for this week. Yeah, I hope you look forward to it. If this isn't your thing, hopefully you will learn something, because it is still new to me. So cut me some slack with if I say something wrong, if I'm talking about something wrong. I don't know. Okay, I've not even been doing this for a year. Okay, so I'm still learning, but it's interesting. The more I dive into it, the more interesting it is. So we're going to talk tomorrow about, I guess, some of the benefits of investing in the stock market, besides, making money in the long term. We're talking about more short term and just all overall. All right, so anyway, take care. I'll catch you later, and hopefully you enjoyed, okay? Bye-bye.